The most cunning woman by zodiac sign. She always lies. There is a woman who is the subject of legends. She knows how to smile so that everyone believes her, and speak so that the truth is lost in her words. She will always find a way to hide her true intentions, and always turn the situation to her advantage. This is not just a character trait. It is her zodiac power, a gift that turns lies into weapons and cunning into protection. Among all the signs, there is one that surpasses the others with her cold calculation and ability to pretend. She can be the most tender and the most cruel, the most devoted and the most cunning at the same time. And it is this duality that makes her the most dangerous and most interesting woman of the zodiac. Today, we will reveal her secret. You will find out who hides a stream of deception and manipulation behind a beautiful mask. Subscribe to the channel so you don't miss other revelations, because here we tell the truth about what is hidden behind the signs. And in the comments, write which of your acquaintances you recognize in this description. Get ready. The secret will be revealed right now. The first sign is Pisces. The most insidious trait of a Pisces woman is her ability to skillfully confuse her interlocutor, so that even an experienced person cannot tell where the truth ends and a carefully constructed deception begins. She plays with words like a musician plays with notes. Every sentence sounds plausible, but behind this melody lies a different reality. She has an innate talent for making lies convincing and the truth doubtful. These are not random fabrications, but a carefully calculated tactic in which every word is thought out. A Pisces woman is capable of hiding her true intentions, creating an illusion of gentleness and vulnerability around herself. This apparent fragility disarms, inspires trust, and then becomes a mask behind which cold calculation is hidden. She does not lie for trivial reasons. Her lies are almost always aimed at achieving benefits or strengthening her own position. At the same time, she does it in such a way that those around her often even thank her for her supposed sincerity, not noticing that they have become part of a cunning scheme. Her words sound soft and seemingly innocent, but inside there is a sharp hook. She instantly picks up on other people's weaknesses, as if on an instinctive level. She skillfully chooses the moment to present distorted facts, exaggerate details, or hide what is disadvantageous. This art of manipulation takes the form of care and attention. It seems that she is trying to help, but in reality, she directs the course of events so that she gets the results she wants. Often, her deceptions do not even need proof. It is enough that what she says sounds convincing. She knows how to look into your eyes in such a way that your doubts disappear. Her lies are not loud or demonstrative, but quiet and viscous, like fog, in which it is impossible to distinguish reality from the images she has invented. This makes her dangerous because it is extremely difficult to expose her. In relationships, she can play several roles at once. Today, she is devoted and tender. Tomorrow, she is offended and cold. And the day after tomorrow, she is affectionate and understanding again. This change of images allows her to control other people's emotions and keep them close. Even if her words contradict each other, she will find a way to justify everything so that the blame is shifted onto someone else. A Pisces woman lies not only for protection, but also for power. She knows how to maintain control in any situation. The more confusing the situation, the more pleasure she gets from the fact that her words are decisive. She creates a picture of the world where everything revolves around her, and those around her are just actors in a play written by her mind. The most striking thing is that even when exposed, she can easily get out of it. For her, lying is not a mistake, but a tool. If she is caught red-handed, she will find a way to turn the situation around so that the one who tried to expose her is found guilty. This art of self-defense has been perfected, and few are able to resist her pressure. The strength of a Pisces woman is that she is always one step ahead. Where others, Egyptian, can only guess at hidden motives, she has already played out a whole combination. Her lies become not just a habit, but a survival strategy that gives her an advantage over others. This makes her one of the most cunning women among all the signs. The second sign is Virgo. Virgo knows how to paint such a picture of reality that even the most attentive interlocutors fall into her trap. She never admits that she is lying, because she does it so elegantly that her lies become a convenient tool for hiding the truth at the right moment. Every word she says sounds logical, as if verified by facts, but there is a cunning plan behind it. She is able to change the nuances of her speech so subtly that a person feels as if they have come to conclusions that were actually dictated to them in advance. Her cunning lies not in crude deception, but in the subtle and cold manipulation of others' perceptions. She always analyzes and plans the conversation in advance, placing emphasis where it is most advantageous to her. She never reveals too much, always controlling every movement of her eyebrows, every pause, and even her breathing. There are no random actions in this woman. Everything is calculated and thought out, and lies become her weapon, which makes her almost invulnerable. She lies not for trivial reasons, but for control. Where another person would tell the truth and lose their advantage, she will invent a detail, change her tone, insert an unnecessary fact, and thus steer her interlocutor in the right direction. At the same time, her face remains impeccably calm, not a single muscle betraying her tension. If there are several people around her, she manages to convince each of them of her version of events, so that everyone believes in different scenarios at the same time, and no one guesses her true intentions. This is not impulsive lying, but a carefully honed tactic, perfected to perfection. Virgo is so skilled at manipulating words that even upon subsequent verification, it is impossible to catch her in an inaccuracy. She lays out her escape routes in advance. If necessary, she can always say that she was misunderstood, that she meant something else, or that she simply expressed herself poorly. Cold rationality is inherent in her character. She can analyze people and situations for hours, like a chess player analyzing pieces on a board. Where others rush and make mistakes, she waits for the moment to ripen. Her lies are a combination one calculated several moves ahead. She can charm and inspire trust, but at the very moment she needs to, she will turn that trust against those who have allowed themselves to relax. In Virgo's eyes, any truth is too vulnerable, which means it must be replaced with a version that benefits her. Her logic is flawless. Why say something that could cause harm when you can say something that opens up new opportunities? Her cunning is especially dangerous in that she never takes steps for the sake of the lie itself. She lies only when necessary, and that is why her deception always works. A Virgo woman knows that constant truth makes a person predictable, and predictability is a weakness. She builds her world on half-truths, understatements, and carefully measured accents. She envelops her interlocutor with words like a thin fabric, and he does not notice how his gaze becomes clouded and his decision ceases to be his own. Virgo's special art is to create an atmosphere of honesty around herself. She can talk for hours about morality, justice, and responsibility, and it all sounds sincere. But at the key moment, she changes direction, and no one even suspects that her true goal was hidden from the beginning. She is capable of recounting so many facts that her conversation partner will drown in details and cease to distinguish truth from fiction. This is her favorite tactic, to overload the mind with trivialities that are easy to get lost in. Virgo is cunning, not because she likes to play games, but because she considers lying a necessary part of survival. She knows how to lie in such a way that no one will be offended or notice the trick. She is able to explain any inconsistency in such a way that the interlocutor will apologize for misunderstanding her words. In her eyes, truth and lies are just different tools for the same goal. She may seem cold, even aloof, but that is what makes her even more dangerous. She never gives in to her emotions and always remains calculating. The Virgo woman creates an aura of perfection and control around herself. Her ability to lie is her armor, protecting her from weakness. And the longer a person stays with her, the harder it is for them to understand where reality ends and her skillfully created mirage begins. She does not throw around loud phrases or build obvious schemes. She weaves a subtle web that tightens slowly but surely. And when the victim realizes that they have fallen into her trap, there is no way out. The third sign is Libra. A Libra woman amazes with her ability to turn the truth into such brilliance that no one would even think to look deeper. She lies with ease, as if breathing, and does so not for the sake of the game, but for the sake of the result. There are no outright lies in her arsenal. She prefers elegant half-truths, skillfully placed accents, and carefully chosen pauses. And that is what makes her especially dangerous. Her words sound convincing, her arguments seem logical, but behind them lies a skillfully constructed mirage. A Libra woman can instantly read the mood of her interlocutor and choose the wording that will have the greatest effect. Her lies are always tailored to the audience. With some, she will be soft and delicate. With others, sharp and confident. She is like a mirror in which a person sees not themselves, but the reflection that is beneficial to show her. There is no chaos in this skill. Every distorted word is part of a carefully crafted scenario. A distinctive feature of her character is that she has no pangs of conscience. For her, lying is not a violation, but a way to build a system in which she always comes out on top. This is most evident in situations where she needs to save face, reputation, or power over those around her. She will not reveal everything openly. It is easier for her to confuse everyone so that no one understands what exactly happened. Her language is a weapon. It is sharp, but does not look threatening. She knows how to wrap any distortion in a beautiful shell, and this shell works better than any evidence. Even when the facts are against her, she will find a loophole in words and shift the focus to other people's mistakes. It is a constant game of one-upmanship, where the smartest person wins, and she almost always succeeds. When communicating with loved ones, she uses lies as a subtle web. It cannot be said that every word is a lie, but as soon as she senses a threat or a desire to strengthen her position, she instantly weaves lies into the dialogue. Today it may be a slight exaggeration. Tomorrow, the concealment of key information. The day after tomorrow, a large-scale fabrications that turns the situation into one that is completely under her control. Her strength lies in the fact that even when exposed, she remains calm and offers a new explanation in such a way that doubt begins to torment not her, but the one who tried to catch her. For a Libra woman, lying is a tool for balance. She herself chooses where the truth will be superfluous and where its absence will create stability. It is a paradox. Behind her outward smile, gentleness, and ability to please lies a rational coldness. She knows how to reason not with her heart, but with calculation, and therefore her lies work flawlessly. The most remarkable thing is that her insincerity is rarely perceived as a threat. People around her do not see her as an enemy. On the contrary, they tend to trust her. This is what makes her tactical approach flawless. At the moment when those around her are convinced of her sincerity, she is already building her combinations and leading them where she needs them to go. It is this ability that makes Libra women some of the most cunning. Her lies are not harsh or crude. They are subtle, enveloping, and almost imperceptible. That is why she always gets her way, even if it means completely rewriting reality with words that no one can look away from. Fourth sign, Aries. Silence is foreign to Aries. She acts sharply and swiftly, and that is precisely where her cunning lies. A woman of this sign lies with such confidence that any of her lies sound like orders. She never doubts what she says, and the force of her pressure deprives her interlocutor of the opportunity to doubt. If Virgo lies coldly and subtly, Aries does so boldly and assertively, turning every distorted word into a weapon of pressure. She can unleash a flood of information, uttering phrases with such fervor and passion that those around her have no time to check what she has said. Her main advantage is that she believes in her own lies as much as she believes in the truth. Her cunning is evident in how she knows how to use emotions. An Aries woman can artificially create a situation where everyone is tense, and in this atmosphere, throw in her own version of events. At the same time, she raises her voice, gestures more actively, and her eyes burn so brightly that people subconsciously back away. For her, a lie is not just words, but a whole performance, where every emotion and every movement of the body is subordinated to one goal. She knows how to make people believe that untruth is the only reality, and she does it with such force that even after being exposed, people are not always ready to admit that they have been deceived. Aries does not know how to wait, so her lies are always direct. But it is this directness that makes her dangerous. She does not get bogged down in details, but strikes at the heart of the matter. She asserts without explaining, dictates without proving, and it works. Her interlocutor gets lost, begins to doubt themselves, and submits to her confidence. She can say something harsh, spice up a lie with mockery or sarcasm, and thus destroy even the slightest resistance. The harder a person tries to argue, the louder and firmer her words sound. This pressure is her weapon. Her cunning lies in her ability to exploit the weaknesses of others. She quickly notices who is afraid of conflict, who cannot withstand pressure, who gets lost in an argument. And that's where she strikes. She lies in such a way that her lies coincide with other people's fears, and then resistance breaks down instantly. People begin to agree just to avoid confrontation with her fury. She skillfully masks her own interests with a categorical, "That's how it is," and no one dares to question it. The Aries woman knows how to change tactics depending on the situation. Among her loved ones, she may use milder lies, adding emotions of care to them. But even here, her goal is the same: to assert her superiority. She can pretend to be a victim, tell a touching story that will melt hearts, and then use that trust to manipulate. In a business environment, she acts differently, loudly, boldly, and decisively, instilling the idea that it is pointless to argue with her. The danger of Aries is that her lies are always accompanied by sincere fire. She doesn't just say words, she fights with them. In an argument with her, a person feels as if they are facing a wall of fire, and even if there are doubts inside, they do not come out. Her lies destroy the will of others faster than fact-checking. And the longer the contact with her lasts, the stronger the illusion of her rightness becomes. Her cunning is a direct attack, backed by the ability to capture space and completely subjugate it to herself. She doesn't weave webs, she descends like a storm. Where others think, she acts. Where others are afraid of being caught in a lie, she moves forward so confidently that reality itself begins to conform to her words. And even exposure does not deprive her of her power. She can reject accusations and turn the situation around so that the one who exposed her is found guilty. An Aries woman always lies with fire in her eyes and iron confidence in her voice. Her lies are a blow that breaks resistance. Her cunning is a confidence that compels belief. And this is her unique weapon. She turns lies into truth before the eyes of those who do not have time to understand what has happened. The fifth sign is Leo. Leo always strives to shine, and even her lies serve this purpose. A woman of this sign lies in such a way that she turns every distorted word into an act of grandeur. She never hides in the shadows. Her cunning is open and paradoxical. She lies demonstratively, confidently, with an awareness of her own power. Her lies are a stage, and she is the leading actress, and the audience applauds without even realizing that they have become victims of manipulation. She is capable of presenting a fabrication so loudly and beautifully that no one dares to question it. For her, lies are a tool of power that strengthens her position and emphasizes her superiority. She is not afraid to use deception as a way to hold attention. Leo knows how to embellish the truth, add glamour and pathos, and, if necessary, create a whole world around herself where her words become law. No one notices the contradictions because her confidence extinguishes any attempt at doubt. She lies with a victorious smile, and even if the facts say otherwise, her charisma is stronger than the facts. The main thing for her is to preserve her image, and for this, she is capable of distorting reality so that it becomes more convincing than the truth itself. The Leo woman is cunning in that her lies never seem petty. She doesn't lie for trifles, she lies for scale. If she tells a lie, she turns it into a legend. She is capable of turning a simple conversation into a grand performance where her role is untouchable. There are no random details in her speech. Everything is aimed at making an impression. People around her stop analyzing. They are captivated by her energy and begin to believe in the image she has created. The lioness's special power lies in her ability to skillfully hide lies behind sincerity. She can say a phrase with such warmth that no one will notice the deception hidden in it. She is capable of pretending to be caring, generous, and ready to help. And at that moment, she can plant the version of events she needs in her interlocutor's ears. Her cunning is based on her ability to control other people's emotions. She evokes admiration, gratitude, sometimes even guilt, and this makes her lies undeniable. Leo skillfully uses social pressure. If there are people around, she amplifies the effect. She speaks louder, gestures more vividly, and everyone around her begins to perceive her words as the truth. She knows that the crowd always believes the one who sounds more confident and vivid, and that is why her lies often become collective reality. Even if someone has doubts, they will be afraid to voice them aloud, because going against Leo means challenging her authority. Her behavior always feels like she is playing to the crowd. She is able to hide the truth and do it beautifully, with glamour and drama. Leo lies in such a way that the lie becomes part of her image, and the more vividly she does it, the more those around her are drawn into her orbit. She is not afraid of being exposed. In case of a threat, she is able to instantly outplay, justify herself, and present any truth in a favorable light. Her cunning lies in the fact that she is always one step ahead and knows in advance how to parry any blow. A Leo woman lies because she cannot stand losing. It is important for her to maintain her position as a leader and preserve respect. And if the truth gets in the way of this, it can easily be replaced. She is capable of distorting memories and presenting them in such a way that the victim of her manipulation begins to doubt their own feelings. Her lies are not chaos, but a coherent system of defense for her throne. Leo makes sure that even exposure does not destroy her power. She can turn the situation into a game, ridicule the accusations, and turn them into a spectacle where the one who dared to question her will be found guilty. She has mastered the art of turning reality upside down and emerging victorious in any situation. For her, lies are the stage, the truth is just the scenery, and the audience always remains under her power. The Leo woman is cunning and always lies in such a way that her lies become part of her radiance. She does not hide. She elevates deception to the level of art, making it an integral part of her power. And the more blatantly she lies, the tighter her grip on those around her, because no one dares to challenge someone who plays the role of queen and demands to be believed.